Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nina and I'm in the process of becoming a flight attendant. Today I just wanted to make a video on my whole experience with my face-to-face with American Airlines. So if you guys are interested, just keep watching. So I've mentioned this in a few of my other videos. I've applied to 6 airlines and this was my third face-to-face. I do have my previous video before this one was pretty much me vlogging the day of my face-to-face with American. You can see what I wore. I stayed in an Airbnb, so definitely check out that video. This is more of a sit down so I can tell you guys how everything went. So yeah, this is my third face-to-face and just looking down at what I wrote. So my timeline of when I applied, when I got my job offer. So I applied on November 1st. So November 1st, 2017 is when I applied. And then I got my video interview invite on the 30th. So pretty much a month later, I got an email stating, hey, can you do a video interview for us? So I did that. And then I got I completed that video interview on the 4th of December. They give you 5 days to complete the video interview. So I completed it on the 4th of December. And then I finally got my face-to-face invite on the 18th. Excuse me. So I finished it on the 4th, got my invite to come to a face-to-face interview on the 18th. And then the date that I chose, they gave me 2 options. It was either January 10th or January 11th. I chose January 10th, and that day I got my CJO. So pretty much I was given the option the 10th or the 11th, and I chose the 10th. So I emailed back all my information that they were asking, and a few days after that, I believe they sent me my travel itinerary. Now with my first and second face-to-face, my first one was with United, my second one was with Frontier. The way that they did it was they flew us out the night before, and then our interview was the next morning. With American, they fly you out the same day, from what I've been hearing. So for me, my travel itinerary said that I would have to leave at 5 a.m. From Miami to Dallas. I would have gotten there around like 9, and my interview was at 10. So I thought, like, man, that's really cutting it close to wake up super early to be there all day. So I am a part of this Facebook group. For those of you guys can join it. It's like there's one for American Airlines, there's one for all flight attendants, there's one for like each airline. And in this group I asked, like, is it possible to me in this group I asked if it was possible if I could, ask them if I could fly out the day before. And then a lot of people were like, yeah, you can do that, definitely. You would just have to cover your hotel costs. So I ended up emailing my recruiter back and asking if I could fly out the day before. And he got back to me and he said, yeah, you can. So I ended up flying on the 9th at 9 a.m. got there by noon, and I had all day to just relax on the 9th and then prepare for my interview on the 10th. I do feel like that makes a difference. If you can, definitely fly out the night before. You want to be well rested, you want to be well prepared. So yeah, definitely fly out the night before if you can. I didn't pay for a hotel. Hotels are pretty expensive. They could be from like $80 to $150 a night. So I got an Airbnb and I only paid $13. So definitely check out my last video so you can see how I only paid $13 for the night. And it was a really nice house. So the day of the interview, I arrived at like 9:20, and it was where they conducted the interviews, but the same place where they have like their trainings and all of that. So I got in there and there was a lobby. There was about 10 people already there. So I just went and sat by everyone, and there was one girl, she was talking about Disney. I guess she used to work at Disney or still works at Disney, and she was just telling us stories. And I'm an introvert, believe it or not. Like, I'm getting more comfortable just sitting here and talking to the camera, but when I'm around a group, I just, keep to myself. I just sat there, and then everyone just kind of looked at me like, are you gonna introduce yourself? And I just said my name and what I did and where I came from, and that was that. I'm more of a listener. Like, I can listen to you talk and tell your stories on and on. So yeah, that's just the type of person that I am. But I know in this situation you want to be interactive. You never know who's watching, so definitely, you know, talk to other people, get to know where they're from and all of that. So then everything started at 10 o'clock. So we were brought into this room, and total there was only 18 of us, which is a pretty small group. At Frontiers face-to-face there was like 80 to 100 people, and at United's there was about only 15 of us. So this was a smaller group. And so what we did was we did a group interview, which was super easy. A tip for the group interview is say something different. I felt like a lot of people were just saying really I don't want to say basic, but they were saying things like, I like to make people happy, I like to travel, I like to make others feel great, I have great customer service. Like, that's things that all of us, you know, love to do or have. I am going to be making a tips video. I did have one of my subscribers comment in one of my videos that they would love for me to do a video, like a face-to-face tips interview type of video, which I am going to do. That's going to be my next video. Stay tuned for that. This is just more of my overall experience with American Airlines. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you guys want tips on like my video interview process and how I guess did those. I've completed 4 video interviews and I've done 3 face-to-face interviews, so I definitely have some tips to tell you guys, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for those. So where was I? Okay, so for the group interview, we did a group interview. It was really fun, really easy. The recruiters just wanted to see like your personality and like your image and all of that. And then after that we did our group interviews, which I absolutely hate group interviews. For Frontier it was a group interview as well, but there was only 2 recruiters and then 2 of us. For this one there was 6 interviewees, I guess that's what you would call us, and then 2 recruiters. So they pretty much asked us only 3 questions. They based if you were offered a CJO on pretty much these 3 questions that they asked us, which in my opinion the very most important 2 questions that you should know like off the bat is why you want to become a flight attendant and why you want to become a flight attendant with the airline that you're applying for. In my opinion, those are the most important 2 questions that you should know. And then they asked us a random question as well. You just had to pick a card with a question. You had to stand up, read your question, answer your question on the spot. I'm not going to go over exactly the questions, but if you go on Glassdoor, there is someone who literally wrote like 3 paragraphs, word for word, everything that goes on in the interview. And it was pretty spot on. So definitely go on Glassdoor.com, just search American Airlines flight attendant questions, and you will see it on there. But yeah, everyone was super friendly. There was a total of I think 4 recruiters, and then only one, which was like the host, she wore the flight attendant uniform. Everyone else just wore like professional clothing. And so after the group interview, we were brought back into the big room that we were at. They did a little presentation talking about pay, benefits, and if you had any questions. I personally like to ask questions, and I did have a few questions jot down, but I didn't get a chance to ask them because the host was there was 3 tables, so the host was talking to like this table over here for quite some time. And by the time she was like, does anyone have any questions, I got to ask one question. I forgot what I asked. I think it was like a question on like reserve and seniority. And then right after she finished answering my question, one of the recruiters came into the room and was like, okay, can I have Nina and another person? So literally my heart dropped. I'm like, oh no, they're grabbing people that they don't want to send them home. So my heart dropped, and I just was like, oh my goodness. So I went with my recruiter. We walked outside. She's like, she like gave me a side hug. She was so sweet. She's like, okay, now we're gonna take her right here. And we went down the hall, and she's like, okay, well, we would love to continue on with this process. We want to get your fingerprints, your drug test, fill out paperwork. And literally I almost shed a tear. I was so happy. She didn't say like, hey, you got a CJO, but if they're doing all of this, most likely you got a job offer. So I went into this room, filled out paperwork, did my drug test, did my fingerprints, and then I had my one-on-one interview. And at that moment I read like a piece of paper, and it said, I would like to congratulate you and offer you a CJO with American Airlines. And I was just super happy and excited. Obviously I thanked everyone, and so really everything only took about 2 hours from the moment that I started. Like I walked into the building from the moment that I left. It was really only about 2 or 3 hours, which was super quick. One tip I will say is, if you think you're gonna take a drug test that day, definitely drink a lot of water, because I had to wait for like 30 minutes because I couldn't use the bathroom. So definitely drink a lot of water, stay hydrated if you even slightly think you're gonna do a drug test that day, which most likely you will if you get offered your CJO. And like I stated in my previous video, I'll link it down below as well. There was 18 of us, and I believe only, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe only 5 of us got offered a CJO that same day. And so yeah, I only saw like a few other people when I was, you know, doing my fingerprinting, my drug test, filling out paperwork. And so then I went back to the airport, got on my flight from from Dallas back to Miami, and I actually told one of the flight attendants when I went to the bathroom, I was like, hey, I just got my CJO today. She's like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you. You're gonna love it. I told her I was hoping I would be based in Miami. She's like, yeah, Miami is great. You'll get so many different trips, this and that. And she's like, wow, they told you got your job offer today. And I was like, yeah, they did everything today. And she said, oh wow, because my friend just went to their face-to-face a few months ago, and they ended up telling him that they would email him, and they got back to him 5 days later telling him he got the job offer. So it's definitely different for everyone. Just if you go to a face-to-face and you leave and, you know, you didn't get fingerprinted, you didn't get drug tested, that doesn't mean that you didn't get the job offer, because you can definitely get an email, you know, 5, 10, 2 weeks later stating that you did. You just never know. So if you don't get a thanks but no thanks email, that means you're still good. You're still, you know, in the process of everything. So don't get discouraged on that. I think that's all I have to say. Definitely stay tuned for my tips on how to pass your video interview, your face-to-face interview. I definitely have a lot. I talk fast. Do I talk fast? Definitely comment down below if I talk fast. Okay, I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and I will be back.